what's up? I gotta do a continuation of boxing talk and being, excuse my language, shitted on. Ow! So this happens a lot amongst trainers and fighters, whether they're fathers or uncles or whatever. You teach someone what they know and they chose to stop listening to you as if they know it all. And or if somebody else told them something that's different than you, so they think they learned something new. But in reality, there's nothing wrong with learning nothing new, but it's how you learn it that's gonna make you successful or not. And in particular, I was talking about my little cousin deciding to train with people who say that they can do for him what I can't do for him, even though I initially started training him as a young boy a couple of years back when it was out of kindness of my heart as a cousin to help him get out of trouble off of the streets. I did that, so I'm satisfied and I'm victorious in that. I made a champion in that respect to keep him from being in trouble. However, I do have a problem now with him because it's starting to run his mouth and get a little bit arrogant and disrespect my mother, and can't understand why my aunt, who he's living with now in Philadelphia, would allow him to get away with this. Because in actuality, I'm going to say something to kind of let him see the future of, you know, how his life could turn out, you know, and burning bridges ain't the route. Nevertheless, this is part 2. I wanted to say a shout out to his trainer, his new trainer, another young boy. He was probably like 12 years old when I met him. And I was actually training in Philadelphia with a world-renowned trainer, unrespected trainer. Don't get the respect his name carries. However, this trainer, I want to say to you, you know, I'm proud of him growing up being a good man and doing what's right, sticking with boxing and making his wrongs right, you know, and being around that positive environment that me and him came up in. Being in a rough city like Philly, we didn't see none of it because we was in the gym all the time. We was raised in the gym, stayed out of a lot of trouble. But I want to say to him about my little cousin that I introduced him to. Take care of him, you know, it's still my little cousin. I'm going to watch his back to the best I can. But I'm making this letter because he disrespected my mother. And I called the trainer myself, his trainer, his new trainer. I called him and I told him that I visited Philadelphia recently and I had the opportunity to hang with him and his son. And his son is just like him, or like he was when he was a kid. Very wise and talented in boxing, and you know, real nice, optimistic, and just like a good kid. So I warned him about him letting him be around my cousin unrestricted, just like any amount of time. And with my aunt, as you can see now, my aunt has just straight jumped ship with me, and this is my aunt I grew up with. My little cousin wasn't even born, and me and my aunt grew up as kids. She's only maybe 10, 15 years older than me. She completely seemed like she jumped ship. Don't have nothing to say about this boy acting this way after all I did for his little stinking butt. Well, anyway, I'm telling you, trainer, young man, protect your children, man. Don't let them be influenced by certain people. Influence is very important. What schools they go to, who they hang with, who's being around them, who's telling them secrets. You know, this stuff matters. You only have one chance to get your kids right, and that's when they're young enough for you to rule them. So rule them with beauty, mercy, and confidence, and correct knowledge and protection. You are their protector. So protect your baby, man. Don't have them just open with this dude from Georgia that you just met. You know, from Atlanta at that. And all these doggone homos in Atlanta. And I ain't saying he's a homo, but Atlanta's definitely got a lot of homos. And you just got to be careful who your kids are around. But good luck to y'all. Shout out. Peace.